Marshall skips away. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test Champions.
Welcome back to another episode of the TGIF podcast. Thank God it's footy. How's the latest week of holidays treated you, my bro?
We're still
Getting a bit monotonous now.
Yeah, still on cruise control. Starting to. I said just before, I'm ready to get back into work. I say that now, but yeah, possibly, come 9:30 on that first day, I might be wishing I was still in bed or something like that. But yeah, a little bit monotonous. It's sort of nice that we're getting into a little bit more sport now. Everyone's sort of getting back into work, like we're saying, and over the Christmas New Year period, everyone's putting their feet up. Everyone's getting back into the swing of things now, which is good. Lots more to get involved with, over my holiday period, which is nice. And still going strong with me. My daily swims will be 18 days now, so it's nice and easy. Obviously January still.
January, February, March, April. It's not really going to test you until you get into
I'm
May,
worried about June, the old June, July, August. That's the hard part. May and September, I'm not too worried about.
You might get a few cold days.
A couple of cold days, but there's cold days. Cold days in January, February, and March as well, depending on when you go swimming. So, and come. Getting back into work, there might be the odd sort of colder evening swim, or maybe even look to get yourself involved, in a pre-worker if the tide works out. But yeah, nice. Still been good. I can't complain about not having to go in. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've been having a bit of a fly problem the last couple of days.
That's probably my only big negative about summer. Is the flies. We were talking about the other day sort of what insect annoys you the most, and everyone was saying mosquitoes, but I think it's going to be the flies. I can put up with a couple of mozzie bites, but some flies are there. Flies are definitely ruder now, I swear, than back in the day. I think they've picked up a lot more confidence, and they sort of swoop.
You're swimming around humans more.
Yeah,
now.
they land on your hand. While mid-moving. See, he was on my shoulder the whole time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been chilling there. No, he's gone straight onto the drone.
We're gonna have to go for a little a catch at some stage, I think, if he pops up. But yeah, it's probably the big negative about summer. Is the amount of flies. This is gonna look like a weird video if I sit here and continue to try and track the fly and catch it, but if it comes back, we're going to be trying to move in quick. Plenty of footy news popping up over the last week or so. Starting off with my Tigers there, welcoming Juzzy Olam into the squad for seeing the first pics of him and his Tigers gears, and obviously we
looking sharp.
Yep, said goodbye to Sean Bloor and that as well. Everyone's saying it's quite a huge loss. For me, I don't really. It is a big loss, but I don't view it as a loss because we never really saw him play.
I don't know if this really makes sense. It's probably a bigger gain for Melbourne than it is a loss for the Tigers.
100%.
Because they're going to get the 100% of his potential.
Yeah, they'll turn him into a great player, and if they can keep him injury free, that's the only thing.
He'll be an Origin player in 2 or 3 years.
We only saw him play, we might have started 5 games, 6 games, I'm not too sure, but
2 huge injuries for the Tigers.
2 big injuries, and then sort of a lot of the time was, used coming off the bench, and he might have had 1 or 2 games where he was a standout player, but I don't think he ever had any huge games for the Tigers. The potential was there, we just never got to see it, and I feel like that centre position is somewhere we've had a hole that's needed plugging, and I think that's a pretty decent plug there. I think that'll be a handy signing. So I'm happy to see that. Plenty of talk about the fact now seeing what's sort of happened in the last week. Luai being announced, Olam's coming in. Fulton going as well. It's Benji's team. He's sort of coming in and doing his business, so it's good to see. But
100% Benji working his magic.
Stoked to see him get the deal over the line there. Cooper Johns with a pretty funny, a comical little posting there for his retirement, hanging up the boots.
Yeah, hanging up the boots for the old microphone, joining the Kyle O and is it Kyle and Jackie O?
Kyle and Jackie, I think, yeah.
Kyle O and Jackie.
Kyle and Jackie O, maybe. I think it's
Kyle. And Jackie O.
He's got an unusual last name. Not an unusual last name, a lengthy last name.
Huge over there in Aussie on the radio. So
Stephanovas? Kyle Stephanovas?
Potentially.
I think, something like that.
Potentially.
I can see him. I can see him there. They've got
I can see that.
They've got the sun in the background, I believe, on their picture. Sort of like, you know what I mean. But a comical little posting there.
Following in the footsteps of his old man, going into the media. Interesting one at the age of what? I think he's like 24, 25.
I think we've seen, was it about 29 or 19 maybe NRL games?
First grade games, yeah.
So, yeah, it's an unusual one. Not the longest of careers there for him, but good on him for being able to have a little bit of a joke about it.
Yeah, look, certainly roasted a few people on his way out, which is always good to see. Yeah, interesting one though. Plenty of chat about it. Good luck to him though. I'm sure we'll see plenty of him popping up on our social medias over the next couple of years as he moves into that role. We saw Wonga Blake, he's locked in a deal over in the Super League there, St Helens, so interesting. He probably could have made a decent pickup for
I think he would have been
NRL side.
I think it would have been a good little pickup for a few teams, but we are seeing quite a few players heading off over there to the UK when they can't get that preferred deal maybe, and I think it is an interesting one, but it's a handy pickup for an already pretty strong St Helens side there. So.
Yeah, look, you go St Helens, you're pretty much guaranteed to win premierships over there, or at least be there or thereabouts. So yeah, good on them, I guess. One thing we just missed out on last week, I think it literally dropped as we were recording. Corey Allen, he's
another blow for your Dragons. I do believe it was that afternoon. I'm pretty sure that it happened.
Recruitment has not gone very well this off season for us in the end. A couple of, on the face of it, what seemed like handy signings have turned out to be injury problems.
Yeah, that's a real big blow, that one there. Obviously, Corey Allen doing that in training, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Doing it in training. Obviously, already in there with the team, and then the whole Volkman saga as well. There's been plenty of talk about that. I know Cameron George, CEO of the Warriors, there, had a little bit to say about that. But yeah, big blow for your Dragons. Kind of, is that you? So both your new players sort of gone now? Have you got anyone else over the off season?
We got Haupai Puha. Other than that, I don't think so. We just signed Jesse Marshke.
I did see that, and I think that was following not getting Volkman. Is that correct?
Yeah. Obviously needed a number 6 there. That's 2 being rolled out for the season with Amon as well. But yeah, it's turning out to be a shocker of an off season for the Dragons.
Not looking good. Good for my Tigers. Hopefully that means we've got another contender there to try and take that spoon off us. Big rule change over the last one. Today or yesterday, I think it was. Yeah. The new goal line dropout rule. So basically, if it's out on the full or doesn't make it across the 10, you're not going to see a penalty. Correct. You're just going to see a play the ball for that attacking team there.
Yeah.
10 metres out. I think that probably speeds the game up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're going to have a little bit less time wasted setting up for kicks and things like that. Interesting one, but Yeah, I think we'll probably you might see people utilise that a little bit more, I'd say.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be utilised. If it wasn't already overutilised, it's certainly going to be a lot more short dropouts this season. I think you take that 2 points off the table, it's pretty much a 50-50 chance.
Yeah,
I'd say, depending on, you know, some teams have blokes who are particularly good in the air stationed right there to take the dropout. But I also think the defending team, if you come onto it with momentum, often you're going to beat them to it with the jump compared to someone who's standing there on the 10 trying to jump and get it. So, yeah, bizarre one. I think it's probably, definitely benefits those teams taking the dropout.
Oh, 100%.
That's for sure. No longer risking the 2 points. That was, obviously there's a lot of things that were the difference in the grand final last year, but there was a Penrith penalty for exactly that. And 2 points was the score difference in the end. So, look, interesting call by the NRL. They tried to sneak that one in, slip it under the radar, but look, it's.
I didn't get that.
So he's getting involved again, eh?
But it is an interesting call. So, like you said, whether it's not already overutilised or not, we'll see probably quite a few more short dropouts being pulled out the bag there.
I'd say so.
I've been heavily looking into this pre-season game down in Christchurch.
I looked today and you get return flights for like just under $500.
Really? Jesus. Yeah, no, thank you.
If you're going to fly down on the day and fly back.
Yeah, I had my I had a ballpark figure quite a lot lower.
And the thing is, it's a Sunday and you'd be flying back at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
The cheaper flight by like $50 and you're getting back to Auckland at 10:30 on a Sunday night.
Yeah, that I'm not worried about. But that $500
to Devo in bed.
That $500
work Wednesday.
That $500 ticket. That's a lot more expensive than what I was thinking.
It's like $130 to go down and then like $300 to go back.
Yeah, that's outrageous. I can remember seeing ads sort of back probably like 2006, 2007 when you'd see like, $49 return, but I feel like that's what I'm still...
Yeah, but you have to go on like some random Wednesday and like come back on some random like Friday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those flights are pretty much always a scam.
There is
a scam, but it's just shit dates. You
could huck the drive, but then the ferry, I can imagine that might be more expensive.
The car ferry.
And you wouldn't be getting back. You wouldn't be getting back in time for work Monday.
Just the car ferry.
You wouldn't be back in time for work Monday if you took the car ferry. I can imagine you're looking at $149. That's my guess. Vehicle fares from $128. There you go.
Vehicle fares $128. Inter-Islander $20 per person, $30 per vehicle.
Okay.
$15 per motorbike.
I won't be biking. But even then, you're leaving, you get into Picton, you're having to get that Monday morning Picton ferry.
Burn through like 3 tanks of gas driving to Christchurch and back. Oh, maybe not, I don't know.
Do you see that?
You smacked him?
I hit him. He's over there on the floor.
Yeah, he should die soon, surely.
Jeez.
It's not the quickest.
Not the quickest of flies, that one.
Although it is nice and chilly in here, got that aircon cranking.
Needs to get out of here.
So
maybe it's a no-go then. Possibly the whole trip down to Christchurch.
I think it's a hefty ticket for a pre-season game.
Yeah.
Week 1 of pre-season as well, so...
Same as what we saw last week though, last year.
That's what we went to last year, yeah. So nice to see those blokes that, you don't often see on the TV getting a hit out. But, yeah, look, I don't know whether it's sort of worth the price of admission to...
Yeah, that's a
making the journey down. But
it's a hefty fee, the old flight there.
maybe if you chuck a little King of the Oki punt on tonight and it comes off.
I see somehow, we'll have a little look later on, but somehow I don't think there's going to be too much value coming out of the old Bahrain Darts Masters.
Bahrain.
So it's a slightly different setup to last year, but probably it in terms of footy news, I guess, that's come out over the last week or so. We haven't even had a game of footy to sink our footy as in football there, to sink our teeth into over the last week. Obviously, in the middle of this unusual split winter break that we've got now in the Premier League. There's sort of been a few games here and there. Obviously, half the league has played their games and now get their break, and obviously half of us had our break and we now get to play our game. Crystal Palace up next on the chopping block. Ideally, we've seen a little bit of a slump in form. So ideally that we can come out and sort of break that little streak there of poor form and get a win here in this one.
Yeah, I said the lads have been over in Dubai, getting a bit of sun into them to break up that English winter, I suppose. Hopefully it does them some good. I think Arteta would have had them working hard. 3 L's on the trot. Crystal Palace at home, I believe. So
yep, we are at home for this one, I'm pretty sure.
you don't want to be overconfident, but it's a good one for the lads to be able to hopefully come back in and get a good result. Then we have Nottingham Forest and Liverpool in the following games, I believe.
I think you are correct there.
So a couple of, you never want to say easier fixtures, but certainly on paper you'd be expecting Arsenal to get the job done. 12-day rest for the lads. I think that's what a lot of people were saying about Saka particularly, was he needed a bit of a rest.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good for a few of them. Hopefully, for the odd one or two there that were playing good in that sort of little batch before the losses, they don't lose any form. But I think everyone's coming back feeling refreshed, ready to get back out there and turn that form around, break that little streak there. Obviously, no FA Cup now. We don't have to worry about that. Maybe it's a good thing to look at, possibly. And we've obviously still got a European fixture to look forward to in February there as well. So, but yeah, I guess the league for now is the focus. We've dropped a few points and hopefully come away with 3 points in this one.
Yeah, we're going to have to start picking up wins again off the back of seeing old KDB back for Man City making the difference.
Goal and an assist, I believe, in his first game back, I'm pretty sure.
It was a great goal, even better assist. Although nice little take there from Oscar Bob, the young City striker, to should have taken it around Dubravka there with some slick feet. So yeah, ominous signs for the rest of the league that bastard's back causing havoc. Yeah, look, not really Arsenal related, but I saw that the FIFPro XI came out.
Yep, I had seen that. Yep.
Pretty buzzy one. No Rodri. I thought that was, a bit harsh on him, having won 6 trophies and only lost 4 games last year. That's a ridiculous stat.
Yeah,
when I saw that, I thought, wow.
He had a really good season, but it is a weird one, the old FIFPro.
3-3-4 with like 3 attacking midfielders.
Yeah, and then a back 3 there. I mean, Walker obviously deployed now, as a centre back, but he's a right back. It's a back. You wouldn't really play that back 3 there, I don't think, by themselves, but I'm sure Pep probably has.
You'd probably want to get another fullback involved, but yeah, look, you could probably get away with it if you had a couple of.
When you look at that team there, though,
you probably don't need any defence. You probably just have the ball the whole time, really.
Yeah, it's pretty outrageous, that team. And then we see Messi taking the Player of the Year.
Which I just think is stupid.
Yeah, or what is it called? The best award.
FIFA the best or whatever it is, yeah.
Very, very unusual.
Like, there's one man who should be taking home the award, and that's Erling Haaland.
Yeah, an outrageous season.
Did he score more goals than Messi, probably, even though Messi was playing in America? And
yeah, I would assume so. But yeah, it's a very, very unusual selection.
Fair enough giving it to him last year off the back of the World Cup win. I can see the argument for that.
Coolest thing I think to come out of that was seeing the little thing with Henri. Did you see that?
Yep.
That's probably the coolest
Roasting
thing.
Spurs.
Roasting the Spurs fan there that he was hosting with. Yeah, it is an interesting one. A little bit of bat and ball.
Yeah.
It was.
It's been a hell of a week for the Black Caps.
I think first things first is a huge congratulations to Finn Allen. What an absolute beast we saw out there yesterday. I think that's you've got to get that out of the way. What an absolute beast!
The headline from yesterday's game, that's for sure.
He was absolutely outrageous. And also a huge shout out to that bloke in the crowd.
That took Scott one on the head.
Not him. The bloke that caught one-handed. The nice cruisy catch. Or was that a couple of days before? Possibly. I think it was yesterday.
There were a lot of crowd catches yesterday.
There was a lot. There was one young fella who just sort of took a nice.
Bro, Finn Allen hit 2 balls out of the ground consecutively, and they had to get 2 new balls.
And some dude's like stolen them or something like that, apparently.
That was the first.
That was the first.
The second game, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone caught one out of the ground and started bolting it, and they caught it on the camera. It was crack up. But yeah, wow. Finn Allen, it was a great watch. 16 sixes. I think he lost about 5 or 6 balls in the process. A few of his sixes nearing on 100 metres. I saw one was 107.
I think was that one against Nawaz there, I believe. Huge. Sort of you saw the highlight of them. There was about 2 or 3 where he's taken like a couple of steps out of his crease and just come forward and smacked it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a 6 into every zone on the old KFC 6 zone, but
he would have been delivering a lot of chicken.
I would have sure there'd be quite a lot of free chicken. That would have been one yesterday.
Off the back of Finn Allen. Hell of a night.
He didn't even look too stoked when you saw him walking off the field. Yeah. I think quite disappointed with the way that he got out. I don't think he would have been too stoked with that one there, playing it on.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a buzzy one. Can't say I've ever gone out there and hit 137 off 60 balls.
Something like that, yeah.
And disappointed. Never done it, so haven't really had the chance to be disappointed by it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just a pretty level bloke. Doesn't get too high.
Yeah, it's it was an interesting one, but it definitely capped off a lovely little batch of 3 games there up against Pakistan, didn't it?
Yeah, we've wrapped up the series already, 3-0. Couple of good wins, starting off at Eden Park.
Oh my goodness, hell. Get out of here.
Finn Allen was... Yeah, he's back.
Rude. That was just straight onto the
face. He's getting you back for that slap.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Yeah, look, gotta love a bit of a slog fest at Eden Park. Anything that even gets half a miss hit tends to go for 6. Remember when we went and saw the Black Caps bat first, scored 240 against Aussie, and they chased us down in 17 or 18 overs or something, like easy. So yeah, look, the Black Caps have batted first and scored over 200 3 times now.
And Pakistan chose to bowl every time. They won all 3 tosses.
I'm not saying this series, I'm just saying at Eden Park, 3 times they've batted first over 200.
Yeah.
And this is the first time they've won.
Oh wow.
While scoring over 200. So yeah, hell of a ground to play a bit of T20 cricket. We saw Mitchell doing the business in that one. But yeah, look, as you say, Pakistan are electing to bowl first, and our batsmen have been doing the job, whereas I think we've bowled them out in every game until yesterday, the first two there. Kane, he's been injured.
Yeah,
Not out for the rest of the series. I think he's due back for the South African test.
Yeah, it's a big blow, but if we can,
if we can just cruise on the back of Finn
Allen, that's what I was about to say. If we can
Kane
get
just slip under the
get
radar
on
for a while.
the Finn Allen ship and let him lead the way. But yeah, it keeps off a nice little 3-game. Do we have a couple more 2020s? Two more 2020s?
So 2 more against the Pakistan. And is it into 1 days?
Oh, I nearly got him.
Is it into 1 days against Pakistan before we play some tests? No, straight into tests. 4th of Feb though.
4th of Feb.
So a bit of a couple of weeks away. But then Aussie are in town in Feb. We could go to a T20 at Eden Park. Otherwise that's it until the World Cup in June. But yeah, Aussie. Up against the West Indies. Don't know if you've seen much of this game, but 2 days in and it's nearly all over already.
Jesus, wow.
West Indies batting first, getting 188. What did Australia get in reply? Like 300 maybe? And now the West Indies are 73 for 6.
Jeez.
So 2 days in and we're nearly done.
They trail by 22 runs.
Yeah, Travis Head getting 100, I believe. Steve Smith's first go at opening, not going maybe just as he would have liked.
Yeah.
But
oh, wow.
Shaman Joseph on debut picking up 5 for, including Steve Smith on his first ball in Test cricket, which is I guess a pretty cool thing to have.
Yeah.
I guess one of the best batsmen going around, picking him up on your first seed in Test cricket, but I guess it leads pretty nicely into the ICC argument that I saw the other day that they could be reducing Test matches down to 4 days.
Okay, that's interesting.
Don't know how far along it is, whether it's just a thought they wanted sort of the punters up there on Instagram to maybe have a little back and forth over, but yeah, saw something from, don't know who it was, but apparently the ICC thinking about the idea of shortening Test cricket to 4 days, squeeze more 2020 and 1 days in there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be a few purists that are
disappointed in it, but
pretty disappointed in that. But
I think the average fans would be pretty stoked. I got to say, I quite like the idea of that. There's a certain time of the year when Test cricket is good. You know, it's sort of this time of the year when you do have a little bit of time on your hands. But maybe on a Friday, Saturday night, in June, and you're watching a 2020 or something like that. You know, maybe not here in New Zealand, but yeah, I think your average cricket fan would be quite happy with that. I'd like to think.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one. Whether or not we'd see just more draws, or whether maybe teams would look to play a little bit more attacking to try and keep the number of results the same.
Becomes more of like a longer one dayer, I guess, really in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, look, if you think 4 innings, 4 days. Probably just. I mean, you see a lot of players that do come out and play quite aggressive. What did Travis Head hit his 100 off? 134 balls. Yeah, he's
3 sixes, 12
He's
balls.
often up there with like close to 100 strike rate, if not better. More batsmen like him around, more bowling lineups like this Australian one. I'm sure you'd still see plenty probably would reduce the quality of those like Australia versus India, maybe the Ashes when England are playing really well. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting one. We'd have to see how it goes. It could be a thing like, I don't know how they'd work it. Like, obviously, you pretty much know Australia are going to roll the West Indies. So you could definitely do it for those games.
Yeah.
You've seen here it's nearly over in 2.
2, yeah.
But yeah, I just think, I don't know. You'd probably see a lot of draws to start with, which would be
takes the fun out of it a little bit, doesn't it, when you see a draw? But
I don't know. Interesting thing I saw. I don't know how far along it is, whether it's just a rumour or whatever it may be. But yeah, interesting to see if they do. Cut it down to 4 days per test, but that's probably about it in terms of the old leather and willow. I think the Black Caps next game is tomorrow.
I believe so. I think does it say Friday there? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
tomorrow and Sunday.
Tomorrow night and Sunday Arvo. So,
but obviously, you've got to save that Saturday night for your Black Clash. The old Black Clash there Saturday night is pretty tasty. There's 3 cool selections. Obviously, shout out Jock McKenzie from Devonport there.
First player in 63 years, I think it is.
To represent Auckland in rugby and cricket.
Yeah.
Making his debut there for the Aces a couple of weeks ago. I babysat him way back in the day when he was a lot smaller than he is now. And now you see him out there fucking mixing it with the big fellas. But obviously a bit of a mainstay now in the Black Clash, might be his 3rd or 4th year, I think. But the other 2 very cool selections, Brian Lara. Did you see? I don't know if you'd seen that.
Brian Lara.
And Jonathan Thurston.
Jonathan
Thurston has been picked there for,
scouted in.
I think playing for team cricket, and then I believe Brian Lara might be on team rugby.
That's a bizarre one.
I think I could be wrong there. Let's just have a look.
Brian Lara obviously over in Australia at the moment, so
yeah, Jonathan Thurston on team cricket, Brian Lara team rugby, both wild cards. You've got pretty standard players sort of there. You're kind of used to seeing a lot of them get involved in this game. But yeah, Brian Lara and JT, it's a very, very unusual one. But pretty cool to see. JT 100%. Out there with a bat in the hand.
Yeah, or the ball.
Yeah, he could be a bowler. He might be behind the stumps with the gloves on. I'm not too sure.
JT, I mean, who knows? Interesting. You'll have to tune in and see it.
Yeah, 6:30.
Shout out to the ACC lads commentating as well.
6:30 Saturday.
Always I hope listening to them commentate on anything.
Yeah, it is good. I guess we've got to do a big shout out to Mr. Haupai Puha. Now,
big news.
Must have been Friday last week, I think it was. Officially taking his PDC tour card. Pretty cool to see, the first ever Kiwi professional darts player, which is a pretty cool thing. First player ever to get his tour card. Unfortunate that we couldn't see Ben get his at the same time, obviously falling short, but Hopes ended up being the top qualifier there off the order of merit from the European Q school there, the top player not to win a day. So really cool to see. I'm sure we'll probably see him base himself over there, I guess, like what we were saying. Maybe he'd already been pretty close to it last week. So I remember we were talking about, the possibility of basing himself with Heta or someone like that. But yeah, pretty cool. First Kiwi to ever play on the professional darts tour.
Yeah, hell of an achievement for
roofer from a Portuguese.
Roofer from a Portuguese.
I believe. I think he's still based down in Canterbury now, but
could have been a pro golfer as well, potentially.
Should have been a pro golfer. Yeah, very, very, very good golfer. I believe he's got a club record at his local club that he played at growing up, which is pretty cool. So yeah, very, very composed fella. Obviously, I've played him, been on the Yoki with him, dressed up as Santa in a little big fish comp. And I was the centre. He was just nice and calm. I can't really see him coming along to darts in a Santa costume. But yeah, very, very good player. So yeah, awesome to see. Joining the top of the top. So hopefully we'll get to see him involved in a few more tournaments. But we will, just depending on where and what he enters. But we do see the start of the old Darts Masters tomorrow. As I said before, headed to Bahrain. Kicks off 5 in the morning tomorrow our time. And I believe, if I just have a little look, I don't think we've got any of the 8 PDC players paying more than like $1.20. Peter Wright sitting there at $1.24. Aspinall and Cross $1.22. And Humphreys and MVG still, for the last 2 or 3 hours, have just said to be decided. So I'm going to assume that maybe they're just not going to allow you to bet on them, because I think that you'd probably end up losing money. I think, you'd put $1 on and get 90 cents back, probably, something like that.
Yeah, look, don't know how many punters you'd be reeling in with those sorts of odds.
I think you're probably looking at all 8 of your PDC players to win. Peter Wright against Haruki Muramatsu. Gizzy up against Ronaldo Rivera, so him at the World Champs, same as Muramatsu. Aspinall versus Lawrence Elegant. That's we didn't see the best of the Asp at the World Champs, so who knows there. Rob Cross against Tomoya Goto. The man himself, Luke the Nuke, up against Manlock Lung, who is he had an outstanding game there at the World Champs. And then I believe we have the 2 Bahrainian entrants, Abdullah Saeed and Hassan Haji, up against Humphreys and MVG. And then Paolo Nebreda up against Michael Smith. Michael Smith, I believe, looking to retain his crown. I think he won it there the last time, and last year was the first year they went over to Bahrain. Back into the darts. There's been a little hiatus since the lads have been at the Yoki, but yeah, back into the swing of things tomorrow. But basically, it's a big congratulations to Hopes, really.
100%.
Flying flag for the Kiwis. Very, very cool to see. Probably wraps up a short little episode for us this week. Yeah. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, tuning in. Remember to give us a like, a comment. Send us one of these bloody voice messages still. I'm waiting for someone, man. I want someone to send us something through. Enjoy your week ahead, enjoy your sports. If you're having a punt, do so responsibly, and hopefully we'll see you here next week.
Yeah, scroll down in that episode description and hit the link, leave us a voice message. We'll see you then. Ciao.
Marshall skips away, Marshall's still going, Marshall's got Richards coming up outside, now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test champions.